It's 4th of July weekend, and I wanted to show you guys something. This is my American flag. Now, as to why it's behind me, I could follow that up with a myriad of patriotic rhetoric, like my flag's always behind me. But the truth is, one day, it was hot in here, and I really wanted to play Call of Duty, and I couldn't breathe. My thought process was, if I hang the flag up, it can catch the air, shuttle it down to me, problem solved. Also worth noting, each and every time I salute it and thank it for its service. But I have a question. How do we feel about this? Is it a right of mine protected by the First Amendment? I mean, that's what I'd always heard. And because it's constitutionally protected, I always took that to mean even if members of the armed services disagreed with it, it was still a right of ours that they fought and lost their lives for. And it's for that reason that I always spoke up for flag burning as a right, even though I completely disagree. But whew, I almost committed a federal crime there, violating 18 U.S.C. 700, which states, whoever knowingly mutilates, defaces, physically defiles, burns, maintains on the ground or floor, or tramples upon any flag of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for not more than 1 year or both. This subsection does not prohibit any conduct consisting of the disposal of a flag when it becomes worn or soiled. As used in this section, the term flag of the United States means any flag of the United States or any part thereof made of any substance, of any size, in any form that is commonly displayed. So as it turns out, burning the U.S. flag is illegal. It's in the U.S. Code, which is a set of laws that has to be created and passed by Congress. But we hear all the time that it's a First Amendment protected activity, so I decided to do a little digging. The very first Supreme Court case that ever addressed burning a flag happened in 1989, Texas v. Johnson. Now, Gregory Johnson had received a stolen flag and proceeded to burn it in front of a City Hall in a form of protest. He was then charged by the state under Texas Penal Code 4211, destruction of a flag, which states, a person commits an offense if the person intentionally or knowingly damages, defaces, mutilates, or burns the flag of the United States or the state of Texas. So in 1984, he burns the flag, is charged, and loses the case. The trial court convicted him. They fined him $2,000 and sentenced him to 1 year in prison. Then the case got moved to a district court and he lost again. And then on to the Court of Criminal Appeals, which actually reversed the decision, so he won based upon the First Amendment. Texas then took the case to the Supreme Court, and this whole process took 5 years. But anyway, the Supreme Court ruled in a 5-4 decision that it was constitutionally protected under the First Amendment, meaning states couldn't restrict flag burning. One of the dissenters from this ruling, Chief Justice Rehnquist, pointed out that not only Texas, but 48 out of the 50 states, as well as the federal government, had statutes preventing flag burning on the books at the time as well. And if we look at the text of the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Where in this amendment does it say you can't burn a flag? I'll wait. Last I checked, speech means that thing you do when you open your mouth and sounds come out. It mentions no physical act. Now, according to Texas v. Johnson, this is expressive and conveys a message that you're trying to get across in spite of the federal crime you're committing, because you're trying to get a political point across. This is a dangerous precedent and a slippery slope. Take Thomas Crooks, for example. If he were successful in Butler, Pennsylvania and managed to take out President Trump, and this made it to court, I'd venture to say that unaliving a former U.S. president would constitute a federal crime. But if he stated that he was just trying to get a political message across by citing Texas v. Johnson, a court might actually let him off based on his constitutionally protected symbolic speech. I think it's what they call bad law, meaning another misinterpretation by the Supreme Court of the Constitution, just like that time when they decided that just because you were born on American soil, it makes you a citizen. When in fact, that's not what the 14th Amendment says. They take into account this part, but they completely disregard the rest. Look, in my opinion, it's high time to reevaluate flag burning against the First Amendment because, again, the Supreme Court undermined the will of 48 states plus the federal government, and for good measure, I would throw in members of the armed forces who in which all gave some and some gave all. I could only imagine what AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Al Green, Ilhan Omar, and Old Family Dollar Obama would have to say about this. Because liberal, if you like what I do, please leave a like, they really help. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.
When Jesse Ventura, John Wilkes Booth, and the other founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence, what year was that?
1870 something, but I don't remember the specific year.